Hello, my beauties. How is everybody doing? I hope your day is going just as amazing as you are. So today I am super excited. I'm going to be testing out three different foundations. Now they're all from the same brand and I won't be able to do, all three reviews in one day. So what I thought I could do is just kind of spread this over a few different days because I want to test each of these out. I want to do a side by side. I want to do like a wear test on each of them. So yeah, if you want to see the foundation that I'm talking about and see it in action in a thorough review, please continue watching because we're about to get into all that right now. Okay, so the foundation I am so excited to be trying out is this one here by TirTir. It's new. It's in liquid form. Now, I'm sure most of you have already seen this one in action, the cushion foundation. And a lot of people, from my understanding, did not like this one. Now, me personally, I really like this one. And I have dry, mature skin with a lot of wrinkles, texture, pores, you name it. And I really liked it, but I can see why a lot of people possibly didn't like it is because it can get cakey really quick. You just have to be super careful how you apply this one. And so what I was thinking today is we could do like a little side by side, of these two. And then on another day, I could just test this one on its own and just do a really thorough review on that one. And then I also did purchase this one here. Now this one is designed for dry skin. So again, on another day, I'm just going to review this one. Okay, so before we get started, what I have on my eyes is this here. It's by Andriana Nicole. It's a beautiful palette. I actually picked mine up over on TT or Schmidt Schmack. But as you can see, it is absolutely stunning. These shimmers are just gorgeous. Now, you can purchase this on her website. You don't have to be over on a TT to purchase that. And then for my mascara, I just used my Colossal Bubble by Maybelline. Okay, so I also did pick up from them is their sunscreen. Now, this has SPF of 50 in it. And what drew me to this is, first of all, it's Korean brand. So I absolutely love Korean brand, their skincare, their makeup. I've always had really good luck with their products. But what also drew me to this is it's not a mineral or a chemical sunscreen. What it says, it's an organic UV filter. So that's what it is. So that just kind of, interested me. This has 1.69 fluid ounces and I picked mine up for $18. So yeah, it said it has plant-based collagen, 3 types of hyaluronic acid in it. It's supposed to be non-greasy and has no white cast. And as you guys seen when I was applying it, it really didn't have a white cast at all. And it doesn't have that greasy feel like a lot of sunscreens can have. So I actually really like this so far. Now, the real test will be when I go out in the sun and I don't get sunburned. So I will keep you guys posted on that. So as of right now, I really do like that sunscreen. Okay, so I was really thinking how I was going to do this video, and I picked up this little glass slab because I want to show you the differences with this one here, the cushion foundation, and I actually have 2 different shades from them. I think I had like a summer shade and a winter shade. So this one's the lighter one, and this one is 21 Ivory. So if you haven't seen it, this is the packaging. It's super cool. And then when you open it, it does have a mirror. And then it does have like a sponge thing here. And then when you open this part here, is the cushion foundation itself. So let me just swatch this one really quick. Okay, so I actually swatched both of them. So this one here is the 21 neutral or N ivory, and this one here is 23 N sand. So that is the difference between the two. Now this one has more like a pink undertone, and this one is, it definitely looks neutral to me. I don't really see a lot of yellow in it, so that is good. And the one I usually use the most is the 20, what is this? Oh, this one is 24N Latte. I picked up 23 N Sand in this one because this one is a little bit too deep for me. So at any rate, we're going to have two different shades going on, I think. Okay, so what I wanted to show you with this slab here is how, the application can really make a difference. So if you go in, I guess the correct way to hold this is you put your ring finger, and I'm trying to remember, and your pointy finger or pointer finger, and have your middle finger over top here. I guess that is supposed to give the most even application. Now, if you go in like really, I don't know, with a lot of pressure like that, and if you do a couple pressure, you can see that it looks like there's hardly nothing on there. But when you go to swipe it, you can see that, it does lay a lot of product. Now, how am I going to do this? So if I go in, I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm just going to tap it very lightly. And if you go over it, as you can see, it's more sheer. So you just got to be really careful. Now, me personally, how I like using it is to go in with a brush, just tap my brush, and then I can build up on it. Do you see the difference? Like if you can go really cakey really quickly. So that is the differences between that. And I think a lot of people go in because, again, it looks like you have nothing on that sponge hardly, and you go in with a lot of product, and again, you will look cakey really quick. So me personally, again, I like putting my brush, just tapping it in and applying it, and then going back over with the sponge and just really pressing it in my skin. So I'm going to clean this off here, and I kind of want to do the same kind of testing with the liquid one. Okay, so this is the packaging of the liquid one, and again, I got this in 23N sand. So let's see if it does have a pump dispenser, so that is really nice. So I'm just going to place a little bit right next to the 24N that I have. So again, that's the ivory, the 20, I forget, 21, I believe it is. I don't know, we'll go back. But I think that's the 21, this is the 24, and this is the 23. So yeah, this is a lot of coverage as well. So let's do another, just like one pump on here, or like, I don't know, just a little bit, not one pump. And then I'm just going to spread this out, and we're going to see that does look like a lot of coverage. And then what I'm going to do is really clean off this brush because I did tap into that cushion one. And now I'm just going to take a little bit off the back of my hand, and which side do I have it on? And now I'm just going to tap that onto this glass. And that is the coverage of that. So as you can see, that is a big difference, but not that you would go in with, swiping it all over your face anyway, but you get the idea. And now I'm going to place it on a sponge and do it that way. So as you can see, yeah, you can really make a huge difference on your application. So let's do a side by side and get us started here. And then what I'm going to do is go back in a little bit, and we'll see if this one oxidizes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just remove some of my oils or any skincare that is just kind of sitting on top of my face. And I'm not going to use a pore filler because this is supposed to blur your pores too. So I don't want to use any primers, nothing. So the only thing I really have on my skin is just my normal skincare and my sunscreen. Okay, so the side by side, I think this side I'm actually going to use the new one. So the right side I'm going to use the new one, and then this side I'm going to use the cushion. So let's place a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm going to place one pump because again, I don't think you need a lot. And I'm actually going to apply this with a brush first. So what I'm doing is really pressing that in the bristles. And I really think this shade is going to be pretty darn good. So this is actually called a TirTir Mask Fit. It has 1.01 fluid ounces, comes in 30 different shades. It's supposed to have a 72-hour hold, long-lasting, radiant matte finish, hydrating, and pore filling. Okay, so this is what the liquid foundation looks like from here. It looks like a pretty good shade match, I think. So that is a plus, but let me get my 10 times mirror and let's see what is going on. Okay, so I will say over my pores, it does look a little softer. Now, the only thing is, it kind of does look a little, I don't know, dry inside my pores, but it filled them too. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like my nose looks smoother, but it almost looks like it got dry inside the pores, if that makes sense. But everywhere else, it looks pretty decent. I feel like through here, it is accentuating my texture a little bit. But we will wait, sometimes the longer it sits on your skin, the better it looks. But honestly, from here, I like what I'm seeing. If I didn't have my 10 times mirror, I don't know. It looks to me to be a little bit cakey. And maybe I applied way too much. Maybe next time when I go to use this again, I won't use as much. But let's move on and let's go into the cushion foundation and see the difference. So again, I'm going to use my brush because I honestly feel that is the best way to apply this cushion foundation. I think that sponge, you can go overboard way too fast. So what I'm going to do is I cleaned out my brush and I'm going to go into the cushion. I just tapped it a few times. Yeah, as you can see, you could really have control over the coverage when you do it that way. Honestly, like I feel already, I can tell like this side already looks like a lighter application. And as you can see, I went in way too much. I hope you guys can see how it's just packed on my forehead. So yeah, again, you just have to be super careful. Now I will be able to pick most of that up with the sponge. And honestly, what's weird is this side almost looks a little darker, and this one is actually the darker shade. I don't know. But now what I'm going to do is go into, or take my little sponge, the sponge that it comes with, and I'm going to, and what they do, honestly, is this. They really tap their products into their skin. And it looks like it would hurt, but it doesn't. So, but I really do find that that does make a difference with this particular sponge. Yeah, I mean, they honestly look about the same, to tell you the truth. So, this side, I feel like it's going into my pores more than this side. This side looks a little bit more smooth. Now, a lot of people do say also with these foundation is they feel heavy. I can see where they say that again, because if you apply way too much, it's going to feel heavy. But right now, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels still tacky. So I'm going to give it time to dry down. And what I'm going to do is just apply the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and then we're just going to go, I'll go for the rest of my day. I'll come back, later and we'll go through all that. Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh, you guys, what the world. I forgot I did get the concealer. So we're going to do that while that's drying down. So this is new as well. Oh, by the way, I got it in the shade of 4N. But what's really cool about this is one end, it's like a stick concealer, which if you've been with me for a very long time, I used to use the CoverGirl one all the time and I absolutely loved it. I don't know where it happened to it. I don't know. I can't see why I would declutter it. Maybe it was just old or something, but I really did like the stick concealer. So I was super excited when I seen that. And then if you don't want to use that, there on the other end, there is a liquid form. So we're going to try it both ways. I'm so excited about this. So this just says it's a Glide and Hide concealer. It's $16, and this one did come in 20 shades. So that is pretty impressive. And this is supposed to have a 72-hour hold as well. So what I think I'm going to do is do this side with the stick concealer, and hopefully the shade is okay. So I'm just going to place a little bit on the inner and outer corner, just like I normally would. And let's just use my finger, because I will say the stick concealers are a little bit more heavier, and I just feel like a brush, I don't know, I just feel like the finger would melt it a little bit more and make it more easy to move around. Okay, that amount is not needed. I will say that. And now I'm going to go in with my sponge and just really push that into the skin and pick up any excess that is not needed. As of right now, I really do like how that looks. Okay, now on the other eye, let's use the liquid form. And I'm just going to place very little because, yeah, their products are very high coverage. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab a brush for this side. And yeah, this one is really creamy. It's moving very easy. Ooh, I really like how that concealer feels. You know what would be really good too is if you could use both. Like let's say right through here you have a really dark circle. You could use that stick one and then use the cream in the more areas that you don't need as much coverage. So I really like that concealer. I'm just hoping that it's not going to dry down and become super, I don't know, where it just shows all of the wrinkles. I think there could be a potential of that happening, but I will definitely show you, throughout the day or later on how that held up. And I really don't think that I would have to set this one with powder or whatsoever. So I'm not going to today, just to see, and I'm not going to set any of this with powder today because I really want to see how this lasts on its own. Okay, and if one lasts longer than the other and all that good stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just go off, apply the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and I'll tell you how the makeup is looking then. Okay, I forgot. I did order some lip products from them. These are called Waterism Glow Tint. Waterism Glow Tint. So I got 3 different shades, and yeah, I thought we could try all 3 of these and just see the difference between that. So the first one I'm going to go into, this one is called, I think, Summer Pumpkin. So these are supposed to be super hydrating and plumping, have a plumping effect, but not have that. It's supposed to be like a natural plumping, so it shouldn't tingle or anything like that. And these are just the mini ones. And as you can see, that's the applicator. So, ooh, these are super, yeah, like watery. They kind of remind me of something I just tried recently. This here by NYX, this was called the Lip IV Hydrating Gloss Serum. So it has that same feel. That is a pretty shade. It's not too intense, so let's see if I apply more, if you can build up on it. And I wonder if these stain. I don't think so. I don't think I read that they are supposed to stain or anything like that. So that is the Summer Pumpkin shade. Now, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I definitely would have to wear like a lip liner because as you can see, it's kind of grabbing in the center and then around my lip here, it looks like I don't have anything on, but I will say they are super hydrating for sure. Okay, and let's see the other shade that I picked up. This one here is Aliven. So I'm just going to take that off. And it does look like it did stain a little bit. I am getting a little bit of a stain. Well, that is promising. I like that. Anything that stains on my lip, I'm all for it, as long as it doesn't dry my lips out. So again, this one is called Aliven. So that is the shade here. And hopefully we'll be able to tell because that other one definitely did stain. Yeah, it almost looks like there is definitely a little bit of sparkle in there. Not too intense, but just enough to really set that glow off. I will say these are very hydrating. They're not sticky. Yeah, it just feels like you're applying like water on your lips. So that is Aliven. Very pretty. I really like that. But yeah, I'm definitely getting a stain. I gotta see if it was on my teeth. Definitely getting a stain because I'm using a makeup wipe now and I still have a little bit of that shade. Okay, so the last shade I want to try is this one here, a Mauve Rose. So this one I thought I was going to like the most. So I love mauves. I think they're just such a beautiful shade, kind of universal. So that is that shade here. And oh, this one definitely has like a purple hue to it. And yeah, there's definitely some kind of glitter in these. That is that shade. That is really pretty. I don't think it goes with this look as much, but that is a really pretty shade. Okay, with this look, I think I'm going to use that shade Aliven. But first, I am going to line my lips. So I'm going to use my Maybelline. This is the lifter liner. I love these. I actually had to purchase a new one because my other one I had used up. And this is the shade on it. I love the shade. It kind of goes with everything. So I am just going to, because it works almost as like a contour for your lips. And let's go in with this Aliven. And hopefully I did pick the right shade. Probably the pumpkin would have gone a little bit better. Okay, so this is the final look. Let me get my 10 times mirror. I'm going to see what everything is looking like. The foundation and the concealer. And yeah, I will say the longer that this is sitting on my face, it's getting more smooth. I don't know if the other makeup on top of it really helped with that, but yeah, on this side, it doesn't look like it's drying in my pores anymore. It's starting to almost like melt into the skin. Now, around my mouth, I'm seeing a lot of texture, but like I've been saying over and over in all my videos lately, I'm just getting that. I just think it's just part of my skin now. So yeah, through here, it just looks like there's a lot of texture. This side looks, now it's weird. This side looks a little bit more cakey than this side. So isn't that interesting? At first, this side kind of looked a little heavier and this side didn't. So yeah, it's just very strange, like how makeup will change the longer that it sits on your face. Okay, I am going to set up both sides though today, and I'm going to use their setting spray. If you guys have been here for a while, you know how much I love this one. Now, on their website, they had a brand new one out, and of course it wasn't available. It was sold out. I was so bummed. But at any rate, I'm going to use this one. So let's spray everywhere. And then what I like to do is spray a little bit on my sponge. And especially because I didn't set the under eyes, I am going to just take a little bit of the setting spray and set my concealer that way. And also, I think with setting spray, I'm just a huge believer of setting spray. I just feel like it really smooths out the skin. If anything does look super cakey or powdery, if you use powder, it just kind of melts that into your skin. And it really does help with the longevity of your makeup. Okay, and before I go off, and then I will come back later, I am going to see if this does oxidize. So if you remember the top one here, yeah, it does. Okay, so this one is that liquid one that I applied, and look at how much it did change. So keep that in mind. I mean, it really did oxidize. So yeah, huge difference. All right, you guys, I'm going to keep this on as long as possible. Right now, it is 3:30, so I don't know if I'll even get 8 hours. I'm hoping to make it till 11 o'clock. I got to work tomorrow, so we will see. But I definitely will come back and I'll show you what the makeup looks like. Hopefully, it will make it 6, 7, 8 hours. All right, you guys, I'll be seeing you later. Okay, we made it to almost 11:30, and like I mentioned, I have to work tomorrow, so I'm going to make this very quick. I will say the makeup looks really good. It hardly faded whatsoever. And I will say around the nose on both sides, it looks a little cakey, but I didn't use any powder. So tomorrow I'm going to use powder on one side, and I'm just going to use this one. I'm not going to use the cushion one because honestly, that's not even necessary because honestly, at this point, I can't even tell a difference. I will say this is a foundation that looks way better on the skin the longer that it stays on. Today was about 114 here in Arizona, and I was out shopping and all that, and this is what the makeup looks like. I'm super impressed. I will say, some people might look at this, on themselves and say it looks heavy. Um, I can definitely tell I have makeup on, but I wear makeup, so for me, it doesn't make a huge difference. But I can see where people might say that. But it's a full coverage foundation for sure. So it is going to look like you do have makeup on unless you went really, really light-handed and use very little. As for the concealer, that looks really good at this point. I don't have any creasing whatsoever. Again, I didn't set under the eyes either. I just used the setting spray. So yeah, the only place where I'm seeing maybe I don't know, where it looks a little heavy is in between my eyes here. But I still have a lot of makeup on there, but it does look a little maybe heavy there. This line here, it's settled just slightly, and again around the nose. So other than that, I really like it. I think it looks really good. And also, I didn't reapply any of that little lip gloss here. And as you can see, I still have a slight stain on my lips. So I really like this. As for the hydration that it claims that it lasts for hours and hours, no, my lips do feel, dry. They don't feel super hydrated like I thought they might throughout the day, but I really do love this lip gloss because there, like I said, it does stain, and when you first apply it, it really does feel nourishing on the lips. But I'm super impressed how long that it did. Had something on my teeth. I'm really impressed how long it did last on the lips throughout the day. Okay, so I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have my scrubs on tomorrow. I'm going to use this one on its own. And then we're just going to test it and see how it lasts throughout the day because I start my work day very early and it will be on for at least, I don't know, 14 hours tomorrow. So this will be a big test. All right, you guys, I'm going to go to bed. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, my friends. I'm just in my bathroom. I'm just about to jump in the shower. I'm not going to wash my hair today. It's one of those days that I do not wash my hair. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go over to the beauty room and we're going to be testing this one out, the TirTir Mask Fit Red Foundation. So I'm super excited to see how this one is compared to the Cushion Foundation. But right now I'm just going to brush my teeth and then I'll meet you over in my beauty room. Okay, so this is the final look, and what I used on my eyes today was the 9V Vintage Rose by Morphe, and then for my mascara, I used the e.l.f. Extender. I really do like this mascara a lot, and as you guys noticed as I was applying my foundation, I used way less than I did yesterday. I did want to have a little bit more control, so I did apply it with my little dots like I normally do. And then I went back in with just a touch more of foundation on my sponge and really just, went in to the spots that needed a little bit more coverage. And then I used the concealer again, and I did it that method that I've been loving is I put it on and let it just sit there for a good 2-3 minutes, and then I blend that concealer in. And then there was like some areas that I wanted just a little extra coverage. So I went back in with the stick part of the concealer. And that really did an amazing job at covering those extra spots that I wanted just a touch more coverage. And then I set my face only one side with powder and also with setting spray. So we're going to see if that makes a difference. So I am really excited about today's wear test. Like I mentioned, it's going to be on my face for a good 14 hours. So we're going to get a really good feel how these two products last throughout the day. They claim it's 72 hours of wear. We will see about that. All right, you guys, I will be seeing you in a little bit. Okay, so this is what the makeup is looking like. I am in my car on my lunch hour, but I think the lighting is pretty good. But this is it so far in natural lighting. It's looking really good still. I'm not really seeing any kind of fading, or it's not caking or anything really bad yet. My nose is getting a little oily, but that is normal, but I'm not going to do any touch-ups or anything. So I'm wondering if I could tell a difference maybe when I go to editing on the two different sides, because this is the side that I set with powder. So this is like the halfway mark. As you can see, my lipstick has worn off, or that lip gloss, and it is like 12:30 right now. So it's been on since, like, I don't know, 6 o'clock is when I finished, maybe 6:30. So it's been on quite some time. And then with the lips, I just ate, so that could be why that has worn off as well. But I'm going to reapply that and go back to work, and I will be seeing you guys in the evening. Okay, you guys, it is now 11 o'clock at night. So this has been on my face for 16 hours. So a very long time. So I was looking in the mirror, and my 10 times mirror here, and honestly, it doesn't look bad whatsoever. Now, is it the 72-hour wear that it claims? I would say absolutely not. Now, keep in mind, it's been almost 16 hours. It was 118 degrees here in Arizona, but I have dry heat. It's not, there's no moisture in the air whatsoever. So, someone that lives in humidity, this might be a completely different story. You might not have any makeup left on your face, but here in dry heat with my dry, mature skin, it definitely, I still have makeup on my face. It's not as heavy looking as yesterday because I went in with a very, very light application. If you guys remembered in the beginning of this video today, yeah, I used a lot less makeup, and it looks less heavy, but it also has faded. Like it's almost completely gone through here on the nose. It's almost gone. In between the eyes, it does not look as heavy as yesterday at all. So, I mean, me personally, I actually really like this, but I do like the cushion one as well. I think next time when I am to wear this, I definitely would wear more powder, because I will say this side looks less, or this side looks more shiny than the side that I used on the powder. So, but yeah, it's not cakey or anything around the nose whatsoever. So, I mean, honestly, it looks really good from a distance, but when I look in my 10 times mirror here, yeah, I mean, you could just tell that it has wore off pretty good. But me personally, again, I would definitely use this again. I'm so happy that I purchased this. I think this is really good. If you did not like the Christian one, this one, I just feel like you have a lot more control over, how much you apply. So, I mean, it just is all a preference. And honestly, it's basically the same thing if you ask me. Now, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and we're going to be testing out this one here. And this one is just called the Mask Fit Oral Cushion, and this is a soft glow coverage. So this one is actually for dry skin. So I'm really excited to try this one out. I'm going to go take off my makeup. I'm going to go to bed, and I will be seeing you guys in the morning. Hi, good morning. It is now day 3, and today I'm going to be testing out this one. This one's called the TirTir Mask Fit Aura Cushion Foundation. So this one again is for dry skin. So I did want to do like a little side-by-side comparison with this one, not on my face, but just on this little slab, just to see if there's a difference in the coverage. I just pressed this sponge about 2 times firmly into the cushion foundation, the red one. And now I'm just going to swipe it on the slab just to see if there's going to be like a difference in the coverage. So that is what, I did push down firmly. This is what the little packaging looks like. Again, I just purchased the mini one because I'm like, I have all these foundations and I don't know if I'm going to like this one. So again, it looks like this, and this sponge is going to be a little difficult to work with because it's so tiny. But I put 2 firm, I went in there firmly with 2 pushes, and let's just see if I can tell that this one seems like it's a lighter or thinner consistency. Hopefully you guys can tell the difference. So yeah, I think that's a good little experiment to do on those 2. Okay, so let's get into this wear test. And on my eyes, what I used was this palette here by Morphe, and this is called the Rich Glitch. So it's just a beautiful palette. I love it. I think it's a little much for my work this morning. I look a little over the top, but you know how that goes. Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to do is just take off my excess oils like I normally do. And again, I did use their SPF, and I really do like this SPF. I mean, it is not greasy whatsoever. The only downfall is there is a floral scent, and I don't know why they did that, but at any rate, there is a slight floral scent, but it does go away pretty quickly. Okay, so I think what I like doing, how I like applying this foundation, cushion foundation, is with a brush. And plus this is way too small, so I'm going to go in, just do a few little taps, and I used a very light hand. And now I'm just going to apply this. Oh, and the shade that I got in this one was 23N Sand as well. So right off the bat, I can tell this is, a more sheer coverage than the other cushion foundation. That one is a more full coverage. Now this one, they claim you can achieve full coverage as well. Again, this is supposed to last 72 hours, and it's supposed to be hydrating. It does have like some patent ingredient in there, and I will look that up. It's like I will look it up and put it somewhere around here, but that is for the hydration. Also, really quickly, I wanted to show you this shade is also 23 Sand. This one says it's 23 Sand. This is the cushion one, and that is the liquid foundation. So as you can see, there's a difference there in the shades, and it's the same shade. So just FYI on that. Okay, so I did apply everything as much, as good as possible, but I am going to go back in with my sponge and just go in the areas that maybe just need a little extra loving. So I'm just going to press it really good into the skin. This sponge is so tiny. Okay, so actually it looks really pretty up close. Okay, I'm just going to go up, do some makeup, come back, and then we'll finish off this look. Oh no, I lied. I actually want to apply this concealer on camera as well and talk about it. What I've been doing, what I like doing is just applying a little bit on the inner and outer corner and just letting it sit for, a minute. So what I do is just apply it where I want to do this. And sometimes I put it on my Cupid's bow and a little bit down this line that is starting on each side. And I just let it sit here for just a few minutes, and then I apply my bronzer and all of that. And after I blend out my bronzer, I go back and I blend in my concealer. So let's just go through that process really quick. So the bronzer I think I'm going to use today is my e.l.f. And this one is just really nice. It's long lasting. I do like the shade, and I think I'm running low because I do use this all the time. So I will just apply this real quickly. Okay, so that's all blended in, and now my concealer will be at the consistency that I want at this point. So what I do is just, of course, just blend this out. Now, I will say this foundation, right off the bat, again, it's a more sheer coverage, I believe, and definitely more luminous, but it does claim, to do that. So, yeah, as of right now, I really like it. I like it for like a lighter coverage day. Okay, so I am going, like I said, set one side of my face, and I'm going to use powders that I know last throughout the day. So let's do that. Oh, here it is. I'm going to use my Wet n Wild. This is just a great powder. It's really finely milled, so it never looks super powdery. But I'm just going to apply that on the side of my nose, and I am very generous in this area because that's where my oils are the worst, throughout the day. So I just really pack that on and on my chin. So I'm just doing one side. And then what I do is I go in with, like a powder. What is this? Pressed powder. And I love using this one, the Morphe. And let's get my brush. Yeah, this one is the Cloud Light soft veil. It's very early in the morning, you guys. Struggling here with my words today. So bear with me on that. And then I'm just going to set this side of the face really good. I thought this would match really nice with this foundation because this one is more glowy. So today we are going for the more glow look. Okay, so now I got to decide which blush to wear. And I think I'm just going to use my Laura Geller again. And this is in the shade, what is this? Tropical Hues. So this is just a beautiful shade. I wore this like nonstop when I first got it. And yeah, it just, has that marble effect. And again, you're going to get a little bit of glow from this. Okay, I went really overboard for my work with my makeup. So I don't even think I'm going to put anything under my eyes just to keep things a little bit more calm because, yeah, I think this is a little much. All right, and then I am going to set just this side of my face, just like I did yesterday. I had a fan. I don't know where my fans went. So I'm going to have to go to Dollar Tree and get them again. But yeah, I'm just going to be generous with that on this side of my face. And then I go in with my sponge and set the under eyes. And plus that concealer, I don't think you really need to use any powders. Possibly with the more cream one, you might have to just set it slightly, but with the liquid one, I find that it dries down really nicely. That I really honestly have not used powder yet. So, all right, and then for my lips, what I think I'm going to do is use this one. It's called On It. This is the Maybelline Lifter. And then today I'm going to use this one here. And this is the shade, I believe it's a Summer Pumpkin. And let's see how that goes with this look. Okay, so this is the final look, and let's take a look at everything really closely. Yeah, I really think that this one is definitely lighter coverage than this one here, but I still did achieve a higher, like a very high medium of coverage around my mouth. It really doesn't look as makeup-y, put it that way, which is pretty shocking. It did fill in the pores a little bit, and like it did claim, that's what it's supposed to do. And I did not use any pore filler through like this area. It looks really smooth. So if you did not like this one because you didn't like how heavy it looked, you would definitely like this one. Now, you guys did see that I had to go back into the component several times just to achieve the coverage that, I want. But that's me. I do like a more medium, high medium coverage. And it could also be because the component is so small, I had a hard time getting the product on the brush. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, this was 23N, and this is much lighter than this shade here, which is 23N. So keep that in mind if you were interested in, purchasing that one. So yeah, but right now, I think everything looks really good. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. You definitely get a glow. Other than this one was more like a more matte finish. So yeah. All right, you guys, I will be checking in around 12 o'clock, 12:30 for our check-in just to see what the makeup looks like then. I'll be seeing you in a bit. Okay, so this is what the makeup is looking like. It is now 12:36, so it's my lunch hour, and it's been on for over 6 hours. So this one I feel like is fading a little quicker than the other one, the one in the red cushion. Like on my nose, it seems to be already fading quite a bit, and through like where my glasses are. And yeah, it just looks a little shinier. So, but time will tell. It still looks okay. It's not too shabby. But yeah, we will definitely keep an eye on it, and I will be back this evening, and we will take a look at it then. Okay, you guys, it is now 9:30 at night, and this is how the makeup is looking. It actually looks better than what I thought it was going to be when I looked at it at lunch, and it could have been the lighting outside. It was pretty bright, and I was seeing every single thing, and it just looked very shiny, when I was looking in the car. But looking at it here under the lights, I think it looks really good. I think it held up just as well as this one here and the red cushion one. So I just think that this one is just a little bit more luminous, but that's what it's supposed to be. Here, I think it works really good in Arizona heat. It's super dry. I don't know how this would act in humidity, but here it worked very well with my dry skin. So yeah, I honestly, I kind of even like this one slightly better, or it held up just slightly better, especially through here. And even through here, I'm just really surprised how well that one held up, to tell you the truth. So, on my nose, it's completely gone. I think all these foundations are just not going to work on my nose. I think next time, what I'll try to do, maybe with the pore filler, it would last longer. I don't know, but I do want to show you something really cool about this here, their concealer, which I absolutely love. But as you can see here, I have marks from my glasses. So if I just do this and just kind of tap into that, it just conceals it really good throughout the day. So if that starts showing and I want to go somewhere, I could just really pinpoint that product here and conceal my little glass mark. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So my final thoughts on this foundation is it one that just blew me out of the water, something that I don't know that I just couldn't live without? Probably not, but I will say I really do like it. I'm super glad that I purchased it, and I think it would be really good, setting it the right way and really taking my time to, maybe do some primers and stuff like that for an event or even just to go out. I would definitely wear this one on the daily. And even this one, it just depends. But again, I just want to try to explain that it's just not one that I don't think you should run out, and purchase. Now, if you're in the market for something new, something different to try, and something that's going to last pretty decently on your skin, and that's really good for your skin, because like I said, all Korean brands I think are just amazing. The way they formulate their formulas, there's something that they put in there that's magical for your skin. So, if you are in the market for that, it's definitely worth a try. So, again, this is what the makeup looks like after, what is this, 15 hours. So, yeah, not too shabby. And, maybe in time, I think I'm going to do like some reviews, stuff that I've tried so far. After multiple uses, I would get a better idea and feel for it. So, but as of right now, yeah, they're really good foundations. And again, if you're in the market, they're super affordable. I will say that the drugstore prices at this point. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this helped if you were thinking of purchasing these products, if it's worth it to you or something that you could pass on. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you were thinking about purchasing these products, if this helped you, if you weren't even in the market, but now you kind of want to, or just let me know your thoughts on this video. All right, you guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, if you please hit that like button, it truly helps this channel out. Don't be shy, share this video. It will really help me out. And I can't just thank you enough for joining me. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see you again. I love you so much. And until next time.